So a lot of other things needs to be done. Probably yes or no. Last week, wait a minute. Is it being recorded or not? Okay, yeah, it's fine. Okay, last week we tried the Python in Mac OS 10 using Paizo.
Right.
So Paizo is okay in Mac, but not perfectly sound for graphical user interface. Other than that, Paizo running on Mac is the same as Paizo on Windows. Okay, so, but we start with the graphical user interface. We didn't make much progress the last class, so instead I want you to read the textbook that I posted. This is textbook that I am currently writing. Particularly, I want you to read section 1.2, graphical user interface. We will have a separate chapter for graphical user interface, but this chapter is motivating you. If you look at my textbook, currently we have 6 chapters, but we are not going to cover all of this. We're still here in chapter 1, basics, and chapter 2, conditions and repetition. We'll look at conditions and repetition probably today, and data manipulation we're not going to do. How to acquire data automatically, handling numbers or strings. Numbers and strings, a little bit of those will be covered. And then graphical user interface. Yeah, we will work on this and some of this. For example, accessing operating systems. This part will be done when it comes to operating systems. This class is not just a Python, but operating systems in Python, networks in Python, right? Where is the network? Here, accessing networks, and databases in Python. So section 4.3, 4, and 5 are also that we are going to discuss. And when it comes to those topics, then we will come back to this textbook. I'm going to post this, some appropriate textbook on our Blackboard. So definitely chapter 5 will be posted, and some others like a command line parameters and recursion, multiprocessing, multi-threading. Multiprocessing and multi-threading may not be a little bit of, I'm not sure, depending upon the time flexibility. When we work on operating systems, we may try to do some of multi-threading and multi-processing in Python. And another Python application, financial application, healthcare applications, cybersecurity applications, those are already written in my textbook. So what we, those who are interested in, please read section 1.1 in this text, I started with user interactive interpretation. So we did that a little bit quick, right? When we have that prompt, then that is a user interactive, so that you can do quick and can be understood by this interpreter. So all descriptions here so that you can take a look. And also I added a Mac OS version. This is in Mac OS. You have also see here. This is here, same thing, right? So 3 greater than sign. This is a prompt of the Python in OS 10, and a little bit of other operators described. And file.
I'm sorry. I was just checking because they told me there was an issue with the TV. Everything's good? Yeah. Okay. All right, great. Also, you can't eat in here. Sorry.
Can I eat a piece?
Yeah.
You can take it. I cannot say that. All right. And another way is the file interpretation. You can write a code in a file and run that file. That's what we have been doing, right? Last class, much. We wrote some of the graphical user interface in a file. So file contains a series of Python instructions. One of the instructions is import tk inter, and then we create an object of tk, right? tk is a basic window. That basic window tk can contain some other container, which can be canvas if you want to draw, or frame if you want to do menu-driven user interface programming, or you can populate some of the graphical components directly on the basic windows. That's what I explained in this section 1.2. Here, somewhere here, I also explained the function. Function is the module that I'm going to discuss a lot today, so that you can create a function. And once you create a function, then function can be reused many times. So that is the first the concept that you need to understand and you can implement so much on your programming. The function creation, and then call functions. So how to create function, how to use the functions. Those two things are the basic concept that you have to understand. Okay, here 1.2. So I started with an example. Okay, in this example, as I said, GUI program on Mac and GUI program on Windows. On Mac, because Paizo has a little problem on the GUI, graphical user interface. So what I did on Mac, I ask you to use a VI editor. See here, VI editor, and create the file and save it and run it by this command. So Python and then file name. Then you can create this canvas. But right now, here there's a one statement missing. What is missing here is, if you read, it's not really, textbook itself, is this clear or it's not clear?
Yeah,
There's a project. So maybe okay, right, when you read
Yeah.
this, right. What is missing here is that when you create, okay, here is a step. You need to create an object of basic window from TK, open parenthesis and close parenthesis. And in the TK objects, and then you need to create an object of a canvas, right? The canvas, then canvas can contain multiple graphical components. One of the components may be polygon, another component's rectangle, another component's line, oval, like the circle. So using those, those components can be contained in the canvas objects. Before you render it, before you run main loop is a function, right? So that function is to render the basic windows, but canvas itself, if there is no pack statements, because canvas can contain multiple components, so those all components need to be packed in canvas. So no pack statements, then there's nothing. Once you have a pack statements here, then they're all the same, but except one statements, right? I think I need to, this is, with the pack statements. If you have a pack statements, then you can have rectangle and background color and everything. See, if you compare these two, only the difference between these two is that here there is no pack, but here you have a pack. Okay, but for Windows, this is still Mac. On Mac, remember that here I made 2 rectangles and then 1 polygon. If you read this carefully, then you can see how you can make stairs in polygon. And then underneath of the stairs, there is a line. So you have 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 lines, for a straight line. But they make that. You can make that in polygon, not necessarily line, right? Polygon means if you point multiple and they are connected in that order, and at the end, if you don't give the closing, the original or starting point coordinates, still it closes. It's a closed loop. It's not open loop. If it is open loop, then they don't make the function names polygon. They probably make it path. Remember, some other language has a path, P-A-T-H. Path means it's not necessarily to be a closed loop. Closed loop. But polygon, then that is closed loop. But anyway, those who have some, if you I wanted to read. I mean, it's not really whether you are interested in or not. I wanted to read this polygon. Let me read. Yeah, here was this a little better, right? Right. See here, in this polygon, let's see, create rectangle. Yeah, this is another. Let me explain in this way. It's a function that I created. Although we didn't learn function yet, we'll learn it sooner. Def is a keyword. It's a reserved word. So function definition start with the def. Def means definition, and then followed by a function name. This is a function that you name, that you create. It's not a reserved word. This is a name of the function, so that when you call this function, then you need to read that function also here. Remember that here? Initialize 700 and 400. This is the function call. You have definition here from everything here is definition, right? This is a definition, and you have only one statement. Because you have definition of that function, you can call it. The way that you call, it should be the same name of the function, and then in the function definition, if it says a 2 parameter, then when you call it, then you need to give the value to that parameter in that order, exact same number of values to the parameters. In this definition, initialize function waits for 2 parameters, w and h, so that when you call it, the function, you need to send the 2 values, 700 and 400. When you call this, then 700 and 400 is copied to w, copied to h. So within this function, when you say w is nothing but 700, h is nothing but 400. Once it is called, once those 2 values are passed to this function definition. Okay? So root, we'll create tk, and then title and canvas, that's what we did last week, and create a rectangle. And I believe we have another rectangle, right? Create another rectangle. This is a small rectangle and this is bigger rectangle, so that you have here, so smaller from 10 and 10, upper left corner and lower right corner, and upper left corner and lower right corner. That's what we have here, right? And then create line, so I have those lines. There is a parameter, fill equals red, so line, these 4 lines are in red. And polygon, from 101, which is lower right corner of the small rectangle. Look at this in this polygon. It ends at 200 and 200. 200 and 200 means that is upper left corner of a bigger rectangle, which means that polygon starts from the lower right corner of the small rectangle and then draw some points, and it ends here upper left corner of the bigger rectangle. That polygon value, the pair of coordinates, it ends at 200 and 200. It starts at 100 and 100 and ends at 200 and 200. You can put here 100 and 100 finally, but that is optional. Although you do not have a 101, which means when you traverse that polygon XY coordinates up to here, although you don't say, hey, now close the loop, go back to the original points. Although you do not do that, it closes it in this way. Because it is a polygon, right? It is not just a path. So that is fine. Of course, you can put here, oh, this is not text. So you can add 100 and 100 here if you want. That's fine. And finally, we packed all the components within canvas. And canvas is inside the basic window, which is root. And that root is called the main loop. So I explained the main loop somewhere here. If you are interested, then you can read it. What do you mean by main loop, right? Where did I? Somewhere. Yeah, here. Note that the method main loop is not to loop infinitely. It looks like make a loop, but it updates the basic windows. Main loop function updates updates what? Updates for example, if it is called main loop, then main loop function updates root here. So root is updated. Initially, root is created here, right? When the root is a basic window. When a basic window is created, that window has nothing in it, right? After it is created, we added more and more and a lot more. So at the end, we have to update it. Otherwise, it is created up there, and so many others are dangling somehow, right? So we need to update it. The way that we do here, like a canvas. Canvas is a container, so create a lot of components, and before you end, you have to pack them. Likely, the basic windows, you have to update it. That's what we did the last time that I. So Pfizer on Windows much easier, as you look at here, right? So this is Pfizer on Windows. That's what we will look at. Therefore, I gave you the homework assignments. Okay, in this homework assignments, this is homework. This is basic homework assignments. Okay, I want you to create a canvas and make one rectangle, maybe another rectangle here inside, but that inside the rectangle should be filled in white color. And then I want you to draw some star, but this star is not really exact star. It looks like a star, but it is not exact star. So I want you to this star can be done by create polygon or create line, whichever convenient to you. Yeah. And then question 2 and 3, extra that I ask you to do. So how can you make these multiple rectangles? That should be. We'll look at that. Yeah, some of for loop. Yeah. Okay. There's a special announcement. This chapter already posted, so I want you to read. And this is what we did last time. So today, what we will do is this, data type. By the way, anyone has any question before we move to Python language? Data type is really, really important when you work on Python. Data types. Hey, Vishnu, good to see you. So you rushed to come. He asked me, "Oh, we are going to meet the ops ferry." Sorry for inconvenient. But I said first 3 weeks. In the syllabus, I said the first 2 weeks, and then we will back and forth. But next week, because I have departmental meeting at the ops ferry, which means I cannot attend, therefore. So I switched. So next week we will meet at the ops ferry. Don't forget that, okay? But of course I'm going to post from next week where we are going to meet. So there is if you come to Blackboard, then you will see it. Okay, so to practice this, we need to have Python. As I said, those who wants to do Mac, you may use Mac directly. Mac works. Python. As far as if you do not have graphical user interface. Yeah. Okay, so I'm launching Python. Control N, then you will have that. So I'm going to get yourself ready for Python. Okay. Yes, sir.
For the image, we couldn't do LCD.
Which one?
Add an image. Add an image.
Oh. We'll come back that GUI later. Oh, by the way, Remember that I asked you to remind me? What was it?
Different directory of Python. And also run a file from different directories.
So did you guys figure that out?
I was able to do the image.
We can talk about that later. We wait. Okay, let's try. Basically three data types are provided in Python: list, tuple, and dictionary. List, tuple, and dictionary. List is kind of a set. Okay, set. In Swift, for example, then set and list are differentiated. But here, Python, list is a list. There is no concept of set. But anyway, the list is a series of data. There's no typing. You don't need to worry about types. For example, the same list can contain string A, like text, and number 1 and 3, and another text. That's still fine. Tuple is similar to list, but not exactly. See here, list, then it should have a square bracket. If it's a tuple, then you have just parentheses. And it contains, again, any number of data, not necessarily the same type. Of course, tuple in other cases, tuple should not be the same type. But in another language, if you think on an array, list as an array, then array should be in all the data in the same type, and they can be in the same array. So list here in Python is similar to an array in another language. The difference between those two is that list in Python, the data in the same array should not necessarily the same type, as you can see here. Tuple, if it is the type provided in any other languages, then tuple, there's no restriction. Array, there is a restriction. Restriction means all elements should be in the same type. Tuple, no. In that way, then you can see the difference between list and tuple. I want you to think about that. Okay? So far, they look similar, right? There is no type, only list. Both are a series of data in it. Difference is here is square bracket and parentheses. I want you to think. But we have third data type, which is a dictionary. Dictionary is the difference between the other two. Okay? No, there's no type. Python, there's no type. Dictionary, only dictionary is that if it is a dictionary, then like a dictionary that you look at. We have a key. This is a key, and then there is a value. Key and value are paired by colon. So if you want to see the capital of USA, then you can simply say, hey, what is USA? Then it says Washington, D.C. What is Canada? This is a key, right? Then Ottawa. What is Korea? Then Seoul. What is UK? Then London. You may know it all, but not this, right? That's okay. That's a dictionary. You have a key so that you have a value associated with that key. Because it is a key should be unique, right? There should be only one USA, colon. It is okay if you have supposedly, for example, not USA, but let's say US, colon, that is acceptable. Why it is acceptable? Key, all the key here are unique. Right. It doesn't matter, it has the same value associated with it. Washington, D.C. is the capital of USA. Washington, D.C. is the capital of US. If you ask, what is the capital of US? Then it sends you Washington, D.C. What is the capital of USA? Then it sends you Washington, D.C. There's no conflict, right? But if you have here another, say, and New York, then there is a problem. What is the capital of USA? Then conflict, right? That is the reason dictionary should be only one restriction of dictionary is that key should be unique. Okay, now you may tell me the difference between the list and tuple. Similarly, yeah, close, but little more elaboration needed.
The list is mutable. Also, as you said, it has order. With all the variables, with all the parameters that you have put in the list, they follow an order. The tuple structure, and this tuple is immutable. It's a constant. You cannot add things to it or change things to it.
No, it is not. Order is not important in any cases, tuple or list. Difference is here is that when you describe, for example, one object with the multiple attributes, then they should be in everything in one tuple. See here, John, faculty 555. What is this about? It's about me, right? Particular tuple. That's the description about one object. That is a tuple. This case, no, it is not. All different objects. A is a different object. 1 is a different object. This is all separate objects. That is a list. If you want to collect multiple objects, then you can use a list. If you want to describe one object in various different elements, then use tuple. Those who learned database, anybody took database course, then you probably understand. Tuple is nothing but one record, right? One record. One record means one object. Same concept. Same concept used here in Python. But tuple concept, that concept is newly implemented in many programming languages, but in all the programming languages, there's nothing about tuple. No tuple concepts implemented in the early days. Question?
Does it join what I said about the fact that the list is not mutable and tuple
It's not.
and tuple is not mutable?
Doesn't matter.
Attributes to the objects.
No, it doesn't matter.
Can you add attributes?
Oh, yeah, you can say faculty John 555. No, it's still about objects.
Can you add attributes to it? Can you add
Oh yeah, we can add
within
more.
the code? You already initialized the
Mhm.
tuple, and can you then add
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's very, very flexible. It's not like a database. Database is a rigid. There is a schema definition. According to schema definition, you need to follow. If it's a name, age, then it fit it in that order. There's no definition, no nothing. Just list. Only what you need is that you interpret in that order. Okay, so let's practice that here. Let's say we can first practice here is in user interface. Okay. So, for example, my list equals A 1, 2, 3, and size, sec, cybersecurity, and so on and so forth. Then we can say, what is my list? Then you can say, your list is that. Okay, and we can access, for example, what is the first element of my list. We can access this element. How many elements?
5.
Yeah, 1, 2, right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 elements there. How can we know? I believe that is length. There's no length. What is? I'm confused. List objects. Let's find out. List object, if there is. Oh, there's a there's a function. It's not associated with that. Simply, len is a function so that you can send list. So len my list, then it can give you number 6. Okay. That is the length of my list. If you want to see the first element of my list, so my list is that. So how can I access, for example, how can I access this A? Then we use the index. Okay, index starts from 0, so it returns that. How can I access my security? Then my list 5. If you do my list 6, then it's out of the range. So the index starts from 0. Okay. So this is my list. If you want to access to 2 and 3, if you want to subtract, so 1, 2, 3 from the list here, can you do that? Yes, you can. There is another way that you can get is, say number 1 is the second element, so that is that, right? And then colon, so from the second element, 0, 1, 2, 3. This is the third element, right? I mean fourth element, so index is 3, but I need to say 4 so that when I do 3, then it returns only 1 and 2. So that I need to go 1 beyond that, so that first index here is the beginning index, and then next one is the last index, but that index is not included. So that is the index, the last index, which is exclusive. So when I do 1 colon 4, then it returns 0, 1. So from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, but 4 is exclusive, so before that. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, sysec, but sysec is not included. What's remaining is 1, 2, 3. As we looked at, see here, 5, then it returns the last one, right? The exact same one can be done very quickly, -1, that it gives you cyber security. -1 means the last, which is convenient, right? List, if it is a very, very long list, then rather than count from beginning, you can simply say the last one. What about the second last? -2. If we do second last, then -2, then it gives you sysec. What about in the long list, I want to extract last 2 elements. In the same way that you did here.
-1, 2 points, -1, -2.
Hold on. So -2,
2 points,
colon,
-1.
-0. Yeah, -0.
Yeah. That is. So that is not. So -1. That is the last element, right? That is exclusive. So what is the way that we can get 0? 0 means the first one. Is there -0? Well, -0 in that is in mathematics. Yeah, there's a definition of -0. Let's see. Nothing, right? So what is this resolution? We don't say -2 and colon. -2 colon means if you don't say, but with the colon is the symbol defines the range, right? So number before colon is the beginning. Number after colon is the last index, but exclusive. But remember that we had that problem, right? Last 2 elements, then there's no way that we can do -2 colon -1 because the last one is exclusive. The second last one is given. If you put 0, then it's a confusion, right? So leave it blank, then it gives you that. In the same way, if you do blank and then 3, which one's okay, my list is this, but if I do this, then what is returning?
It and 2.
And written after 3, 3 seconds on the screen.
So beginning is not specified, which means whatever begins, right? As we did here, if you don't do ending points, then whatever it ends, it goes ends, right? It comes from the beginning. Whatever it is, it comes from the beginning to the index 3, but which is exclusive. Then what is the answer?
A and 2.
That's right. Straightforward, right? Once you understand what it is. Python is very, very powerful to manipulate string like this. Can you extract RS?
Yes.
We know that my last, whatever we do, -1 or 5, it returns cyber security. Can you get this?
You want only iris?
Yeah, only RS.
You can affect iris to the last variable. Mine's on equal iris, which is going to
add another square bracket
Oh, where did you get that?
between,
Another square bracket, because this is a cybersecurity. You can count 0, 1, 2, 3, 4,
4 and 5.
4 and 5, 4 colon 5, or 4 colon 6.
6. 6. Colon 6. 6.
yeah,
4 colon 6.
I believe that is append. So we can append. If I want to append, for example, there, mercy, then my list is that. In the same way, can I append here? When I try to append, this is an element like this, right? So it is appended. Tell me what I'm trying to do here.
Two items. Two items. And then
This is not
Oh,
tuple.
okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
two items.
Two items.
At the end of the list. Recent column.
More precisely. Want to add another list. So list contains another list. So nested list. Watch.
Mark element is under the mark quality, right?
So if I say my list, can you see that?
The last attribute is a list.
Right. So for example, exactly. -1 is itself is a list. What if I do -1?
I would say it's why.
Everybody agreed?
Why? Why?
Why?
Both of you, why? You said E. Anybody?
Like,
Huh?
like,
You said why? Why?
I know.
Anyone wants to change it?
I want to change.
You want to change it too?
I want to change it to. I want to change it to E.
We should change it to. So we have two students. Oh, more students. Anybody stick to Y?
-1, right?
Delvine, I'll give you a big hug.
I changed.
You changed it, right? Yeah. So Python is powerful in this way. So whatever you collect and put it in a list. If you have complex elements, also put it in a list. Everything is possible, right? You want to try one more? Look at that. I want extract F. Tell me the notation. I want to extract F. Remember that I appended this so that I have element. Well, by the way, how many elements here in this my list list? How many elements? What is the size of my list? Tell me why 6. No, size. I said size, not index. What is the size?
9.
I would say 11.
Tell me why 11. So you want to be you are the only one to be proud.
What's the size? How many elements? How many elements?
How many elements?
A 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is 8, and then you have the list, which is Mercy and College, and then you have another list, which is B, and then you have another list inside and another list inside, which is you have like 3 lists at the end. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 4.
Oh, why 7?
Because the list of mercy is taken as 1.
I said my list. What is the length of my list? My list. How many elements there? How many commas?
9.
Yeah. Delvine, you're very good. How come you're so good? Because you met me 30 minutes prior to this class? Although I didn't tell you, but we have some same chemical. Okay, my question. I want to extract F. Give me one statement. You just start with my
list. Minus 1, minus 1, minus 1,
minus 1.
Minus 1
Hold on.
times and minus 2 1 times.
Tell me. Why minus 1, 1, minus 1?
Again,
One more?
one more, and then minus 2.
Anybody agree? Disagree? Agree? If Delvin said agree, then I think probably. Is there another way that you can do all minus? Why all minus? Be positive. Anyone that you can change it to positive? Of course, right? Oh, 0 is not positive. At least it is not negative, right? I think you understand pretty much, right? That is here, right? We did this length, that is, and max possible. In our case, for example, we have some numbers, right? max because it is all mixed, so there is an error, right? We cannot do this and that. And append, that's what we did. Extend is similar to append, but if you do append, then you can append on element. If you do extend, guess, Delvine. If you want to extend, then extended element should be a list. List and another list can be extended. Append, then you can add one element. So, for example, here, this, right? If you do my list dot extend, and then I would say New York, what happens? All separate, right? So if you do New York here, so extend expects a list, so they are all separate list. I mean, yeah, list, so they are expanded like this. New York, a list, so that two lists combined. And we can count is similar to length, yeah. We can delete entire. We can delete part, right? For example, in this case, if you have a multiple, let me see if we have a multiple same ones. No, not. So let's simulate. My list dot append, I want to add 2, so that my list that, if I want to do my list remove, remove 2. All of them are removed, or first one will be removed, or second one will be removed. We have 2.
Wherever you're going to find the value number 2, you're going to remove it. That's what's going to happen. So both the 2 that you have on the list are going to be removed.
Is it your hope, or is it how Python behaves?
Logic.
Logic. Do you think Python is a formally well-defined language, or is it still a working language? What did I explain to you? It's working, right? So see what happens. If it is so, if I said, yeah, first one, if I said, delete 2, then when it comes to the first one, it will be deleted, and then stop. Okay? So if you do it again, then the second one will go. So a lot of things that you can add more, right? You can add if you do what is the language here? Remove, okay? If you do remove, or if you do remove all, then everything should be removed. Can you implement that? Because it is not implemented in given Python. So in your own language, you can implement that, right? How? Easy. How? You want to do that?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do that. Anyway, that is a good challenge because it came up. So let's do it in this way. Okay. My list equals, let's say my list is here so that I can copy. There's my list, and I want to do more here too. So for loop. I know not all of you knows the language, but let's first think this way. Not using Python language yet, but verbally. In what way that you can remove all the number that we requested? Because we have already the language called remove, right? So using the same language here, remove, we can still use this, right? How can you use it yourself? Just say it.
So we're gonna do while. We're gonna do
No, in just the language, not forget about the programming language.
not the program.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go throughout the list. Whenever I found the value that I want to remove, I'm gonna remove it until I finish the list. In programming, it's gonna be do remove x whatever variable until two conditions. Either first condition is the length of the list is equal to the length, that's mean I'm finishing the list, or the other condition that I'm not finding the this is I need to go through all the lists, and it's going to be one condition, which is this.
Okay. Everybody understands what we are going to do? Why you sit behind? Bring your head so that I can see you. You understand?
Yeah.
Can you repeat? Please.
Yeah, we'll just do this thing.
Oh yeah, you're computer science background.
Yeah.
What about you? You understand what he is talking about? I mean, you have to do, frankly, right? This is the beginning phase. If you miss, then you miss big at the end. What he says is that if you have a long list, because the language, current Python language can removes only the first match, right? I use the match, not all matches, but first match is removed. So how can you remove all? In this case, I want to remove all number 33. In our case, number 2. In this particular example, how can you do? If there is a tool that you can, I can scan through each element, all the way to the last element. And if I do, and at each element, if that element is the same as the element that I want to remove, then I will remove, right? And then do it again and again and again. To do that, so we have tuple, dictionary, string, format string, conditional statements. So we need to use some conditional statements. Okay? Here, try to convert conditional statements here. I want to conditional statements is very similar to our English. If this is the same as that, then that is matched, right? They are matched. If A is the same as B, only thing that we need to know here is that is the word if same if is used in Python language? Yes. Is there anything that we can say is the equality? There is a symbol double equal. That means is. And left hand side and right hand side. You can say left hand side, whatever you want to match two things, right? This element and this element, if they are the same, then one element on the left side of that double equal sign and another element is right side. And if they are the same, then, as I said, if they are the same, and then, is there anything that we can say then in Python language? There is no then, but we have semicolon. If whatever the condition inside, and then colon. If whatever that is tested, and if it is true, then colon means then followed by whatever the action that we want to do. What is the action in this remove all? We need to remove that element, right? Because Python provides us the function to remove one element only, one element at a time, right? So we can remove that element. Okay, that's the if statements. Let's see if there is another. Oh, where is the for loop? I think we have conditional statements. Oh, I forgot. Okay. Another statement is for loop is, yeah, I didn't write it, but yeah, I have a textbook, so that we can bring that up. In my textbook, here, in this textbook, so we have decision statements, if, and if, as if, finally else. That's what. This is not posted yet. And another thing is the loop. So I'm going to give you a broad idea. Iteration. Oh, it's already done. Iteration. Oh, iteration. Okay, iteration statements. Python has two languages available, for or while. If you use a for loop, here's a language. Look at this language. Okay. For x in range 1, 20. Okay. It is simply explained in this way. For x in range. Back here, if we say for I in my list, and then you can say print I, and then you can save this. I want to save this into .505 in class. We can say list for if.py. Okay, so everything will be done here. And this is too long, so I'm going to everything here. Then I go to okay. So save this. And how can you run it? Once it is saved as a file, okay, then you can simply do Control Enter, Control Enter. Oh, indentation should be here. So it gives me A132, A132, CSEC, that, everything, right? Till 2. So this is for loop. For I, what it does here is that if I want to comment that, then for each element in the list, my list. That's what it does. This whole thing means for each element, we say that each element is a new variable I. So we use that variable I. For each element in the list called my list, I want to print that element. Okay? That's what we do. This exact same one can be done here. For example, if I equals number 2, then means colon, then what are you going to do? My list dot remove I. Right, that's here I, right? And then finally we can say print my list. See if it is all removed. Enter. Is there any number 2 here? All removed, right?
You can do it without doing if I equal to. You can do my list that remove to.
See what happens, as he said. If you simply do Is that what you said, right? Why? If you want to remove so many times, how many times that you want to remove here? No.
Yeah, just one.
Here, how many times? How many length? What is the length of this? A lot more, right? Print len my list. See how many. No. We can leave 2, but still. If I do this, then we have 19 elements. Here, 19 elements. If we remove this, and number 2 here, then how many times this guy would like to do? 19 times. But how many number 2 there? Only 2. It should be executed 2 times. But because of that, there's nothing but try to remove, then there is an error. That's what it is, right? So in this simple example, we have for loop and conditional statements. This is a good example. So can you make it more general so that the query, this is a query, I want to receive it from user. Say I can show that, and then we can say Q equals input I would say, what do you want to remove? What it does is that here, how many elements? 19 elements. Okay, and then I list the content of that my list. So that is there. And then I ask, what do you want to remove? What do you want to remove? And then if I do some here, then that is executed. But here, a little bit, the issue, because this input, sometimes number 2, sometimes string, sometimes another list, so it's not really powerful, but we have to do a little bit of sanitize here, but anyway, let's try to enter number 2. What happens here? Number 2, then Q is number 2 here. Number two didn't. What do you want to remove? So Q here. Or here. Same as Q. There's no error, but it's not removed. Change it. Let's see what happens. What do you want? If I want to A, if I want to remove A is now removed. Oops. strange. It is not removed. It is removed.
Maybe it has to be converted to string or feature.
I think it's right about the conversion because whenever you put on there, it's a string.
Interpret
It's not a number.
Which one?
It's a string. Whatever you put, it's a string, not a number.
Professor, we can write it as number equal to string.
No, right. If I, it's not. That's what I tested here. When I do here, A, let's say simply A, or A removes. Right. So number issue. That's right. Everything is. So as I said, a little bit of this. This is a mixture. This is simply number. This is string, and then some others list. Therefore, what it takes is
It's confused between
right. So in order to avoid that, we need to.
we have to convert it.
What we need to do is, if it is integer, then we need to convert.
We can write
How
number
to-
equal to int q. Int within brackets q.
No, everything can be inverted then. It's not only numbers. There is all others, right? If you want to remove integer only, then yes, we can convert to int. But sometimes we can remove others, right? Then that is the problem. So what you need to do is that if it is only integer, right, then we can convert. So if not in here. Right here, we can say if. How do you know that is integer or it is not?
Just go int q if it returns true or false, because the function returns also true or false.
No, there is another way that we can get. Okay, so there is a simple thing that you could do is it is a digit q. Okay, if it is a digit, then we can do q is int q. Otherwise, we don't convert. So let's try here. Number 2. is digits. Okay, not this way. Can do q dot digits. Okay, and number 2. Number 2 is gone. The same one, if we say A, then A is gone. All right. This way that works, right? So, for example, if I want to remove CSEC, the CSEC is removed. If I want to remove entire I'm not sure it works. We need to massage it a little bit if it's not working. Yeah. Right. Because we have another quote. Did this work? Yeah, that works. So how can we if it in this way, okay, this is a sanitization, right? It's a little bit of sanitization. But another, so we can take care of a single string and single number, but we cannot do the list removal.
If you want to remove the list, you need to do delete. DEL, the function.
No, that's it. All, everything. DL deletes everything.
No,
So
it's only one thing. You can do one thing. You do delete, and you do the position of it, and it's going to remove only this list. Let's try it.
did you try it?
Well,
Do not guess. Did you try?
yes, I tried.
No. No, this is the element. So how do you know where it is? So we cannot, right? This is the language. Deal, and then list name and elements. I mean the index. How do you know the index?
You can know the index by the one
No.
in.
Right.
What do you want to do? You want to do
No,
this
the thing is this. The point here is that when you receive from user this, then it receives with the quote. Okay? So we have to remove that quote. But that is a long process to do that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's not that simple. So that is only the problem here. All right. So what we will do is we're going to take a 15-minute break. Okay. This is good time to. All right. Whoops. Okay. tuple. As I said, the tuple is it's a kind of a list, but for on objects. So not necessarily the same type, but constituting all of the elements in that tuple, an object can be identified. And basically, that is a tuple. So in this example, we say tuple John, faculty 555. The way accessing an element in the tuple is the same as the list. So what it means is that it can be accessed by an index. Similar way, if you want to do starting from the beginning to the index number 1, but 1 is exclusive, then only the first one can be accessed. And 0 and 2, then from 0, the element for index 0, element for index 1, and 2 excluded. So John and faculty. And also, if you want to split further, deeper the element in the tuple, that is also possible, as we looked at an array. I mean the list. Okay, very similar to that. We can use a function we call the built-in function, CMP len. It gives us the length of the tuple, so compared to tuples. And the list, if you have a tuple like this, but you can convert that to a list. That is possible. Max, that is another built-in function. So those are the built-in function. And list also is a function, that the conversion function. Dictionary is very useful in Python, because it can contain pairwise the elements. So we can access the value by the key, and also we can do much more than that. Len, that is a built-in function that still works. For example, if you want to, by the way, a dictionary can be defined in the list of pairs in curly braces, like this. You can access the value by giving a keyword. Okay, the first element, the left side of colon, that is a key. So this is a key, and this is a value. If you give me key so that I can return value, that is the idea. Okay, so that works. More specifically, this is in the form of an array, like a list, right? But if you want to use the dictionary method, the dictionary function is available, which is get. So this function takes the key, then it returns the value. And if you call the function items, then it can give you all the items. You can also have keys, then it can give you all the keys. Values can give you all the values. You can also update the dictionaries. Update means you can add more into there. When you do updates, not only when you do updates, as I said, given a key, the value can be a list. For example, United Korea. If Korea is united, then colon, and the value is a list. Seoul and Pyongyang. Pyongyang is North Korean capital. If both Koreas are unified. This is just hypothetical. You can, if you do updates with the key already exist, if you do the key, if you update a dictionary with the key which never available in my key, then it is added to that dictionary. But if you update it with the key already exists, then that is a real update. Okay, so let's try the dictionary, because dictionary is important. So we will work on it. Okay. Yeah, here. So what we will do, my dict equals, remember that it should be in the curly braces, so that you can put here, for example, give me any pair of key and value. Is it you spell correctly? You have 2. Value 2. Whatever it is. If I give Delvine, then how many eyes? 2. How many legs? 2. How many arms? 2. How many ears? 2. How many brains? Oh no. You might have one spare brain. Another. Say Manhattan. And then we can say old subway. It's okay. Doesn't really matter. They should be in one kinds. Okay. So Delvine number 2. Delvine is a key. Number 2 is a value. It's up to your interpretation. Empty. I don't know what empty means, but let's say Manhattan, and then the value is old subway systems. Casablanca, Casabi. What? Any value? Give me any value. Malib. Malib is not in Casablanca. Malib is very famous beach in California. It's the same. Malib. Marif? Is a beach? Is it better than Casablanca?
It's a neighborhood in Casablanca, one of the famous.
Or is there a rich neighborhood?
Yeah, one of them.
Bombay. Mumbai. Not anymore Bombay, right? Mumbai. Mumbai. Is it spelled like this? Bai? Mumbai. What is a Mumbai? I don't know. 7.
India and Delhi.
In India, colon,
Delhi.
Delhi. Delhi. New Delhi, Delhi, Delhi. Is it like this? DLHI? Delhi, New Delhi. It's not Delhi, right? Delhi Kachasana. Okay, so that is my deck. So that you can. What I'm going to do, I'm going to, because I do not want to bothered by okay, and then print, save. Okay, so I'm going to comment this out also. So print, okay, good. So if you want to do, I want to access turbine. Oh. Nobody knows that, right? Turbine has 2 eyes. We can do, also we can do print my get that works, right? Get. What happens? Don't think something else. When it comes to dictionary, somebody is always laughing. I think they love the dictionary. Don't make it short. We can update. If I do update, for example, Delvine 3, then it is updated. And then we can say print my that, then see what happens. So now Delvine number 3, because I updated it. By the way, what do you have that many? Doesn't really matter. Similarly, if I do here the pair, I mean the dictionary with the key never appeared in the original dictionary, like Korea, and number 2, then del by 3 Korea number 2. Any pair in the dictionary to update never existed before, then that is addition. If there is something already exists like this, then the value is updated. Okay? And then we can say here keys. How many keys? Those are the keys, right? Delvine, Korea, MT, India, Casablanca, Mumbai.
Professor, how about the position? Why the Korea 2 went to the second position?
Dictionary doesn't matter the position, so it appears. Dictionary, right, it's accessed by key, so it's not really the matter. I do not know. Sometimes it's swapped. Again, it's not really formal. Doesn't do memory management efficiently. Okay? It's not really matter to us anyway. And then items. Yeah, we have something that we can use here, right? This is good. This is handy for here. Copy from keys, get item keys, pop item, update values. So that if you want to do values, then all the values, number 3, number 2, all the Soviet system, Delhi, New Delhi, Delhi. Okay. All right. So that's a dictionary. String. As I said, string is the Python is powerful, particularly manipulating strings. In manipulating strings, read string, manipulating string, so that the best way that we can see here is that the API. So can you take a look at API? So docs.python.org /3.6 library strings.html. Then you can see so let's take a look at a few items here. String constant. So using the string, if we want to see ASCII letters, then what it does is the concatenation of the ASCII lowercase, uppercase, constant described below. The value is not locale dependent. Constant is described below here, lowercase and uppercase here. So it gives us the number of letters. So ASCII lowercase and uppercase and digits. That's all the constant. And then format. Format is very, very useful that you can use. Parse, get value. And format of a string is really, really important. So we'll look at that in our slide. So I want you to read here something, if as you wish. On the other hand, what we will do here is this. For example, the format. Format is available. This is a function. So let's see. We have a format here. It's a lot of formats. See here, formats. For example, if we want to do what it works is in this way. Within parentheses, if you say 0, then it'll be the first element in that format. What it does is that this is what I want to. This is a string that I want to write. This is a string that I want to write. This is a string that I want to write. But if you have in that string curly braces and with the index, then it is not literal, but it should refer to the element in the format at the end. So this is nothing but first element. If you say 1, that is the second element, 3, that is the fourth element, and so on and so forth. If you don't do any attribute, but simply curly brace, then in that order it is written. And therefore, if you say 201 here, then 2, C comes first, 0, the first one comes next, and then 1, the middle one, comes last. If you can, by having the index number, then you can rearrange. If you do not give any index, then the same order. Oh, like this. Okay, that is what you could do. And print, this is a string. So my number is within this curly brace. I don't do anything. Therefore, it should be the second. It should be the first, whatever one here. So 3.1427. That is the value. So value will fit in here in this curly brace, which is in this quote. But there is a format, colon 3.2f. F, that is floating point. What I'm going to do here is that I need total 3, but after the decimal, I want to reserve only 2. Okay? So, format, see if there is, okay, here. So a lot of formats here. If you say, if you have multiple numbers, then you can say number 1, number 2, number 3, and colon after that, then that is a format. If you say D, then that decimal. X, then that is hexadecimal, and O, that is an octal, and so on and so forth. If you have colon and format, because you don't have anything, this is just like no index, okay? Curly brace, colon means first in the order, in the format value. And then if you say comma, then it is returned in with the comma. If you say colon comma 2%, then this number 0.2, therefore only 2 decimal points, and then at the end put the percent sign. So all such things, useful formats appear here. Okay, it's very, very useful. You can make this in this table formats. So I wanted to read that. So we'll practice this a little bit. Let's see what happens next. So we have a lot others. So let's try. Okay. So let's work on this user interactive mode. If I do print pi is, I would say, okay. So I would say this. I want you to think how this will work. If I say this, then which one's appropriate? Number one, there is an error. Number two, whatever. If I hit enter, pi is 3.15, said 9134.3868%. So let me explain this. Pi is, this is just literal, right? And comma said, that is a literal. So as I say, pi is, that is a literal, comma said, that is a literal. Only 3.15 and this is generated. So within this curly brace, right? If I say number 1 or 0, then that is the index. 0 means the first number from the format. So first number comes here, second number comes here, number 1, right? So 3.1478. But there's a floating point, decimal number 2. But this is what is it, round off, right? There may be some truncated and some other issues, but let's take it that way. And this one, 0.3, this percent comes here. 0.3, I want to take because this is a number. I want to change this to percent. So 91.34. What is a percent? percent is two numbers below, right? So 9,103.4%, and then below decimal points, 3 digits. That comes after that. Okay. So if we want make a real percent, reasonable percent, then you should have it like this. Okay, 33.15 comes from 3.14. There's a floating point, and this is a percent. So it's a little below 1, little below 100%. This is 91%. But what I want here is that I want 3 after that, right? But if I do rather than 3 but 5, then more under decimal points, right? I have 5 decimal points. That's what I have. That's a format. String with formats. Very, very useful, right? Imaginary number. Those who knows the imaginary number. Anybody knows the imaginary number? Yeah, somebody knows imaginary number, somebody don't. That appears in the slide. So I want you to take a look if you want. Okay. And another thing, for example, if I want to print Mercy, I want to put it in center, and 41 times of star, then it comes like this. So one statement generates. So if I have here like this, then 4 characters must be exactly one character long. So it is not working that way. Center, only one. If I want to make (141) like this. Center, but I'm not sure left. No, there's no left, but center. Mercy College you can, right after this string, you treat it as a list, so that if you say 3:9, then it extracts from fourth elements, so 0, 1, first, second, and third, and fourth element till 8th, right? So that's what it does. So I'm going to go over this. This is string. So Mercy College, and then :6 plus university. Then I want to take from the beginning till the index 5, so 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up to this. Okay, I take that. So from Mercy College, I take Mercy space, and then concatenate university. So if I do this, then it'll return Mercy University. If I print that Mercy and that and university, and then 3 times, then it returns Mercy, university, university, university. If I do this, it's a little different, right? So this is a real something that you need to hear. Mercy College. Then we can have 6 plus university, then it'll be a Mercy University, right? So similar thing, but let's do print statements. And then if I do here and plus minus all, backslash all means I think there's a repeat, and then greater than 15 within that. So format and university, and 3 times. What it does here is that so first element from format, which is university, right? So university, and then I want to shift 15 characters from left. Okay. I think all there's a carriage return. I think there's a carriage return. All is carriage return. If it rather than do that. So if I hit return, it comes like this. Mercy University. First Mercy University comes from here. And then next line, but carriage return. It comes to the beginning. And then we'll shift to 15 characters. So I think 1 character per, 2 characters per 1 2 space for 1. So this is about 15. It's not really 1, 2, 3, 4, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13, 14. Somehow like that. And then yeah, university is pushed that much, but everything 3 times. So these 3 times of university comes from this. Okay? This is by program, it generates that way. Interesting, right? Conditional statements. Oops. Right. I want you to practice this. This is something very interestingly I made it. So this one. So try to practice it. So I'm going to skip here in my lecture. And this is conditional statements. So as we looked at, so if statement, or if, else if, or otherwise. So we have if this is true, then we worked on this, or so another true, then we work on another. Finally, none of this above, then we print error in units. That's what we want to do here. So this is sort of the conversion program. Okay, convert the temperature in Celsius to Fahrenheit, or from Fahrenheit to Celsius. What we will do here next week, we're going to let me explain this a little bit, and then we will do this in text program, and then we will the exact same one to graphical user interface. Okay. So I create 2 functions. Okay, conversion to Celsius from Fahrenheit. If I receive Fahrenheit, then I can convert it to Celsius. This is the formula. Don't ask me this formula, why we have this, and someone may prove, right? This is another conversion. Conversion, if you give me Celsius, then I can give it to you Fahrenheit. This is the formula. We simply return the formula. Given C, we return F. Okay? So so this program runs from here. Input means I want to take user input. This is the prompt to user. So enter a temperature. When user enter temperature, temperature is assigned to data. I didn't do any declaration. Oh, this data is a variable. Similar things will be done in iPhone apps. iPhone apps, we do a lot of such things, right? Although it is not really text-based or dialogue-based, it is touch screen enter, right? If you enter some number, then take it to some others. Similar things happens here. This is very, very simple. Those who knows Java programming, then in Java you have to do a lot more, right? system.out.print, and then you ask students to enter. Then you have to declare the variable from the user and read line and whatever there, right? But here only one statement. This function, input function, take user input and send it to data. And after this, you cook the data. Okay, data split. If there is so user enters like this 19 F Fahrenheit. There's a space. You better say here, right? Degree and C or F, something like that. You have to kindly suggest. But supposedly user entered 19 and F. There is a space. Then you want to split based on what? Based on nothing. Means based on white space. So I want to split user enter two values together. But there is a space, 19 space F. Then we want to take it into a list 19F. So that first one is that 0, second one is that 1. So F is here and 19 is here. See here, if this is a list, then first element can be accessed by 0 and second element is accessed by 1. And I want to send this, no, not yet. So I want to do this, but T is here. I'm going to explain this. T, this Unicode, 00B0 means, see here, if you have 19 degree, then usually there is a small circle and C, right? This small circle is nothing but this, 00B0. This is unit code. This is hard code. Whenever if you want to say small circle for temperature degree, then you need to put that there. So that is T. And then we have a conditional statements. Okay, if C, uppercase C or lowercase c, because C is given, Celsius is given, then you need to change it to Fahrenheit. Then you need to call convert to F. If it is F or small f or big F, then you need to call convert to C. So depending upon this second element in the list, see that one, second element in the list, depending upon that, you need to call the function selectively. That's what this program does. Otherwise, you can say error. Okay. I think another class is.
Oh, sorry.
You didn't see me?
Oh,
You
sorry.
didn't see us? Do you have a class?
Yes, but
Yeah,
later.
we'll question. Okay, so this is it for today. So we'll quick run this next week, and then we'll put this in a graphical user interface. Okay? Any question? No question? Okay, then I'll see you next week.